people? We are back at to the podcast, episode 202, and we are 202. I sound like I can't read or write.
Like he was missing
episode 202. We are back for another episode of us. It is your boy International Walk.
And it's your girl Tosh, the co-host with the mostest.
And she's back, soft-spoken as ever, but not really. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts. No, you're not. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podchaser, Google Podcasts, and Player FM. Type us in, like, subscribe, share, all the good stuff. Let's get right to the show. How are you? You're not soft-spoken.
Babe, I am very soft-spoken.
You're being it now, but you're not.
I'm loud.
You What? How often in a week do I tell you to tone your voice down in the house? But just on an honest level, how often do you think a week? Probably 3 times a day, so 12 to 15 times a week?
Not 3 times a day, that's a lie. Probably, well, definitely once every day.
Okay, so at the minimum 5 times a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean I'm not being so. Sometimes my voice tries to compete with the volume of the TV because you watch the TV at blaringly loud volumes.
You've been saying that our whole relationship.
And now I'm starting to lose my hearing, so I'm starting to compensate by talking louder.
But I'm not losing my hearing, and I'm the one watching the TV loud.
Oh, you lost your hearing, babe.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I was just fronting a little bit.
I am.
What'd it be like? How you feel? What's life like?
I feel good. I just feel I'm looking forward to some time off. I'm looking forward to a little decompression. I'm looking forward to some disconnection. But overall, like, I feel good mentally. Yeah, I feel good. Financially in 8, we're good. Thank God we're making some moves. Got some things squared away that we were planning and looking forward to just continuing to progress. Is it progress or progress?
Let's get it squared away. She dipping.
Is it progress or progress?
Progress.
We're going to progress?
Mm-hmm.
But we see progress.
Yeah.
That's
but
one of them words.
Slip that in there real quick. Nigga, get it squared away. She dipping.
Oh, boy.
She dipping. Got a bathing suit on in the pool. Getting wet all of a sudden.
No bathing suit yet, but it's coming. That was a good one. Mm-hmm. Work is a 9. Just again that end of year, this fourth quarter feel like the Thursday of the week. So this fourth quarter is the Thursday of the year, and it's coming down. But all is well. And then physically, I'm like I'm an 8 today.
Why are you so down? Did they beat you up?
I'm not really down. I got un pequeño dolor de cabeza.
Headache?
Yeah.
Oh.
Un pequeño.
Un poquito.
Un pequeño.
Un poquito.
Pequeño.
Okay.
Un poquito.
Un chico.
Pequeño. Un chico. Un chico dolor de cabeza. But other than that, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Nothing's bothering me, hurting me. I need to be stretched a little bit and rubbed down like professionally, and I got an appointment scheduled coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. But other than
for what?
Massage. Yeah, because I gotta use them up. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I wish I would have got you. Well, you don't really care for a massage like that.
I want a different one. Yeah. And you know what's crazy? I was like, my baby ain't gonna let me go to this. I seen a girl on Facebook pop up around here, and she do massages in her house. But I don't really want to go to nobody's. And she took a picture of the room, and it's like a massage room.
I seen it, and she posted some, yeah.
Yeah, she was asking, I guess putting her information up, inquiring. And it was like, for a small fee, I'll travel to you just for a little bit extra. But, I do massages in my house. And right off the rip, it was like, I don't want to go to nobody's house. Like, I don't know who coming in here with keys, who got guns in here. And to go to somebody's house and take your clothes off is a little bit out of pocket for me.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just something I don't want to do. Like, me personally, I don't want to do. I don't want to go to nobody's house and be naked. It's too vulnerable.
Yeah, I feel like the whole in-home mobile massage thing, I am not for that. I don't want any of those like relaxation services done in my house. I want to be in the atmosphere. And I've seen some great pictures of, you know, they set up the scene, the music, the sound, but I'm home. I look up and it's my wall, or, you know, it's my credenza. Like, I want to be, and I feel the same about going to somebody else's home. Now, who knows? They may have it set up in a way, but like you said, that vulnerability
taking your
of
clothes
just
off
not
in somebody
knowing,
else's house, nah.
Yeah,
Nope.
I wouldn't be comfortable with that. But
and you can have the music and the sense and the correct stuff, the table, the whole shebang, the whole 9 yards. It's just in your house.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do it. If this house was a building that said massage on it, totally different feeling.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's 1908, you know, Fawcett Street, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
I'm looking for, and it's crazy because I was thinking about, like, I remember I've been to a couple spas. The Borgata was a great one. And there used to be one near us that closed down. But I canceled my Hand and Stone membership, which is why I had to use up these credits, because I just wasn't 100% satisfied. And it's not the environment that I want. Like, it's almost like going to a doctor's office. Now, I love my facials and the whole setup of that. But even then, I want the full spa experience. Like, I want to feel like this is not me getting out my car from the parking lot, going in and then leaving. Like, I want the lounge area where you can kind of decompress for a minute. And then you get the massage. You can come back to the lounge area. Little tea. Yep. Like, I've been in spas that have that kind of experience. So that's what I'm looking for. But I don't want you coming to my house to do my hair. I mean, unless it's like my sister and it's like a fast thing. But no, even that, I go to the salon. I don't want to get my nails done in the house. I don't want to get my hair done. I don't want a massage done in the house. I want to go to that environment.
All right, give me a number for work and physicality.
I said 9899.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, how are you?
That part. I am good. Mentally, I feel like a 9. Yeah, nothing straining on the brain, nothing straining, stressful. So, I feel like a 9 mentally. Finances is an 8. They always gonna be, just for that gap to leave some space. Work is a 9. And physically, I feel like a 10. Physically, I feel like a 10. Your boy down some LBs. I'm still
Super
on the journey, so I ain't gonna disclose my LBs yet. But a nigga down some LBs.
You can see it all in your face.
Nigga down some, and then when I get my hair cut, you really can see it. But when my beard puffed back out, it looked like I'm big again. But yeah, when I end this journey, and I'm still gonna be on it, but I'm in the height of it, the apex,
the losing weight part,
the apex of it. But yeah. I'm down some LBs. So yeah, just feeling good about that.
What's your wows and woes for the week?
Wows and woes, ups and downs, stops and goes. Wows is that this job that I'm supposed to be doing is like really, really huge, just coming up and being talked about a lot. A lot's being put into it. A lot of responsibilities being put on me. So I kind of like and thrive in those situations.
You do well under pressure.
Yeah, but I try to make my days where, especially something this big, where it's not pressure. Nobody wants to go to work and be stressed the fuck out all day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just something that, you know, I got to like really hone in on and use my brain and also my skill. So I like those jobs where I'm not like, oh, I could do this in my sleep. Like, this is just monotonous.
You like the challenge.
Yeah, so that's coming up, and I feel good about that. My woes is my team down a man. Yeah, and I got to recruit. So, yeah, doing some recruiting.
Are you approaching this differently than you have in the past? Because you're
the
pretty
recruiting
hard
process.
pick.
Yeah, and my company knows that, and they showed me a list, and it's not, it's like I would say a list of 20, and right off the bat, like only 6 to 8 would fit me.
Okay.
So, we'll see. Okay. We'll see how that goes. We'll talk about it.
How many do you need to recruit?
Probably 1 or 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, probably 3. Yeah, I would say 3.
Okay.
For this job coming up.
Okay.
Yeah. But there'll probably be a rotation of people.
I'm excited for you. I'm excited to hear the updates and praying all goes well. And then, I know you'll be successful, but I just hope I know some jobs you say you leave a piece of yourself there.
Yeah, I don't want none of those. And it's only been 4 of those. And
in 25 years, that's,
it's only been 4 of those. Worth, the courthouse, the restaurant, and somewhere else. Well, it might only be 3. Might only be 3. The courthouse, Worth, and the restaurant.
Well, I know you was Worth the one you was going all the way out there. Yeah,
that was in.
Oh my God,
I can't even remember. Yeah, Plumsteadville. I can't even remember the town. They called it Doylestown, but it was something else. It was Plumsteadville in Doylestown.
I remember driving for an hour and 50 minutes. No, I'm sorry. I'm exaggerating. I remember driving for an hour and it said we had 50 minutes to go. And it was like, you got to be kidding me like that. No, don't get me wrong. I didn't have the current position that I have now. And I usually don't drive that far, but I have commutes that's like an hour and a half every now and then. But this was his commute every single day.
For like 4 or 5 months.
It was like, you gotta be kidding. I think I fall asleep easy. Almost everywhere we go.
It was bad.
But I think I fell asleep going there. Yeah, and then I woke up and it was like 50 minutes left. Like, are you kidding me?
It was bad. It was bad. What about you? Lows and lows, ups and downs, stops and goes, blacks and whites.
My wow is, I'm just excited that we made some plans that are upcoming. Don't want to talk, we'll talk about it when it happens, but made some plans. So I'm super excited about that.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
My woe, I don't have any woes. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful for, another week, another day, for my husband, for my family, for my friends, for the love.
I thought you were about to say for the love of the Lord.
That too. Yes, for the love. So I don't have no complaints. I'm all good. Question: how jealous are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
10.
I didn't even get it out.
It's being honest.
Okay, but I mean, is it like jealous? Like, okay, if we're together and you see somebody eyeballing me.
No, because I want to be with somebody who's wanted.
Right, so, you want to be with somebody eyeballable.
Yeah, so that doesn't bother me because I will walk or, let a little pee out. I pee on trees. I'll let a little pee out, like maybe touch you or grab you or show some sort of PDA, like, or if I'm standing close enough to you, then it's like, it's assumed that you're mine, like you're not my sister. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I do all those things and I see all those things. So, and there's times where I can turn it off. Like there's times where I tell myself like, all right, like we chilling, I ain't worried about nothing. But it's also times that we go in rooms or places or restaurants or places and it's like, I want to scope it out and I see who watching you. I know you will see who watching me. So yeah, I see those things. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably say 10, easy. And plus it's in my sign. I'm a Leo, so I'm naturally jealous. And it's not a bad thing to be jealous. It's kind of quirky. It's kind of attractive in some sense, as long as you don't get possessive and obsessive. Yeah. That's when that shit gets to be like, you crazy nigga. But a little jealousy, like, no, like I love you. You get your ass over here.
So in talking about going to the massage parlor, is it okay for me to have a male masseuse?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no. You ain't doing none of that. Like, get you a woman, get rubbed up, make sure she ain't got no nails, and that's cool.
I hate the nails.
Yeah, and that's cool. So, I'm implore that somebody do a back scratching service, like just a half hour, 30-minute, because the nails can come in handy just with the back scratch. And I'm not talking about like bumps or something, but just a light graze over your back in rotation, like wavy lines, circles.
He's been saying this for so long, but that is where part of your jealousy comes in too. Because why wouldn't you let me make that money?
What you mean?
And having a back
rubbing on niggas? Get the fuck
I'm not
out of
rubbing them. I'm scratching
on niggas? Get the fuck out of here. That's where the jealousy comes in. It's a double standard.
What if somebody paid me $150 an hour for a back scratch?
Give a fuck. I make a lot more than that an hour, so.
Than $150 an hour?
Yeah, so what we talking about?
Who's taking our money there?
I'm just saying.
I get you. All right. Yeah,
so okay. let's end that with that.
I'm just saying, but even...
how them niggas be out there to be like, I'll pay you to stay home, because back in the day, in the 90s, we used to do that. Like, you gotta go to work. Like, how much you make a day? Be like, I don't know, like $75. Nah, I'll give you that.
$75 a day.
In the 90s, it's like, that's a lot of money.
I'm about to say, that ain't gonna take me to lunch break, babe. But okay, the same, like, you don't want me to have a back scratching service. If I was great. Now, what if I knew how to do like locks, or I used to braid dudes' hair back in the day. Mm-hmm. Would you have a problem with that?
Yeah.
Babe.
Yeah. All of that is all the jealous part of it. Yeah. All of that. Yeah, you can't have, I mean, if you was a hair technician, then that's one thing. But you can't have no side hustle with niggas that's coming in here getting their hair.
No, I ain't talking about coming here, but like, yeah, it was like, all right, on Saturday, I'll take appointments.
Nah, we're not doing that.
Okay.
Nah.
What
about the things that I can do? How about I get one of them massages where I'm oiling up all the BBWs?
No.
Wow, I'm massaging, and I ain't doing no cheating, but they paying me a grip. They paying me like $300 a massage. These BBWs just crazy. I had to give me like $350 for a massage.
No, absolutely not. You're not. Well, you know what?
And all I gotta do is oil them up and rub them down, biscuit them up.
To be honest, though, I actually would not have a problem with that, because I know my husband is not cheating.
And I made it content, like I'm gonna film the shit too.
Yeah, I know my husband. Now, you ain't gonna be on there like the ones that be having like the ladies' legs up and they be like massaging them like this and they coochie right in their face.
No, I don't want nobody else's coochie close to my face, but I'm gonna have their legs up.
No, but I mean, you're like, if you're doing a massage, like, and
I'm gonna do the white stuff if they want the white stuff.
What's the white stuff?
I don't know. That stuff they put on you in Jamaica.
Ash
or some
clay.
shit. The clay. I don't know.
Pause. You talking about the white stuff?
No.
Like,
oh
what?
My God.
I
no.
didn't know. What was the white stuff?
Not the fucking. Not semen. No.
You said the white stuff. I didn't know where you were going.
Your
the
head
clay.
Is crazy. I meant massages.
I think that's river clay. I
thought it was ash or something. I don't know. I could be wrong.
We didn't do that in Jamaica. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I wouldn't have a problem if you were like a chef and like you cook for women. You don't want me selling dinners to to people.
My food.
Babe,
nigga, go get your own food.
What if like somebody wanted to buy like my feet pictures and it was like, give me $1,000 a picture?
What if I could get $5,000 for a dick pic?
No, I said feet because that's not
I'm just talking about the number went higher.
No, you can't. No sexual organs.
No butt cheek.
You can start. You can start a picture of your butt cheeks.
What about butthole?
No, you're not cracking ass for nobody. No, because who's taking that picture?
You sound like an old ass Texan. He cracking ass out.
You ain't spraying your cheeks for nobody but the toilet.
Oh my God. The biggest sham in sports history happened Friday night. The Mike Tyson Jake Paul the fight. Before we get to that,
fight, if you want to call it that.
Amanda Serrano and Katy Perry.
Serrano.
Amanda Serrano and Katy Perry had the best fight.
What's her name? Katy Perry?
Yeah. I thought it was
Katie Taylor.
Katie Taylor.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Shout out to Katie Taylor. But yeah, they had a great fight. Obviously, it was on late. I fell asleep and I had to watch in the morning time. Mm-hmm. But I watched the whole thing front to back. That fight was unbelievable. That lady fought through that cut on her eye. That was amazing to see, like, the heart of a champion fight like that. And that was the second time that they fucked her. The little white girl, what was her name again?
Serrano.
No, the little white girl.
Katie Taylor.
She said that she would run it back a third time. I would pay to see that. A little $30, a little $50 or something to see that. Especially if I know they're going to fight like that. Yeah, I would definitely pay to see that. So aside from that, that was the best part of the fight. Mike Tyson, I give props to for being 58 years old and fighting 8 rounds with a kid out there. But just the anticipation to think that it was going to be a real fight, that's where the letdown was. That's where the air came out the balloon. Because you see the clips of Mike busting ass on Instagram with the pads and all this and knocking his trainers over, and you think, holy shit, like, Mike still got it. I mean, he's 58, but he still got it. And he didn't do none of that shit in the ring. Like, none of that fast pad shit working in the ring you see on Instagram. That shit was null and void in the ring. It was like his legs didn't work. It was almost like he wanted to cry at some times. Like he made faces like he wanted to cry. There was a time where him and Jake was talking to each other in the ring, like they was whispering to each other. He kept biting his goddamn glove over and over. Nobody know what that was about. The announcer was saying he did that his whole career. I don't ever remember seeing
Roy
Mike
Jones
Tyson
said he fought
bite
him and
his
he
goddamn
never
glove.
did
And I've seen every Mike Tyson fight my whole life. I've never seen him bite his glove like that. So I don't know if that was a sign, the tapping on the back of each other. I don't know what that was, but that was a beyond exhibition fight, like a beyond exhibition fight. That was almost like circus type shit. Like, and then when you slow it down and they show clips where Mike could have hit him and he wasn't throwing punches, it was like, what are we looking at here? This is bad.
Yeah,
this
you
is bad.
you fell asleep, and I told you, don't even worry about it. You ain't missed nothing.
And that last, I'm sorry to cut you off, that last round where Jake Paul, he could have beat the shit out of Mike Tyson. And he just didn't. He did. And I mean, again, I don't want to see Mike get beat up, but I did think he was going to fight. And that just didn't happen. But your thoughts?
I don't know what, I don't know if I expected it to get like down and dirty and bloody. I did expect Jake Paul to try to take advantage of the situation. I wasn't really expecting Mike to do much at 58, because 58 is 58. He's in great shape.
Fucking 60.
Yeah, he's in great shape for his age, yet and still he's 58-year-old Mike Tyson. He ain't 30-year-old Mike Tyson that was knocking people out, biting ears and stuff. I did expect more action. But I feel like, what did we lose? It didn't cost anything unless you just signed up for Netflix for that. But even then, the real people that lost was the people that bet. I seen some of the tickets. Like, I think I saw Tiger lost like $150,000. I don't know why people thought that if they, and maybe I'm just being cynical, and if you're a real Mike, not that I'm not a Mike Tyson fan, I like boxing. I just didn't, it was nothing in me that made me think that Mike Tyson was going to knock this dude out.
Well, that I didn't think at all, because just the promotional part. If Jake Paul loses, he can't do this no more. He can't
and Mike Tyson is not going to do it anymore.
He's not going to do it no more. So if you want this kid to still, put asses in the seats, then he has to win the fight. So that I could kind of figure out from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah, so that's why I don't understand why people would have bet that amount of money for against Jake Paul.
Because they think that Mike Tyson is like a ticking time bomb, and they think that when Mike gets in that environment, you never know what can happen.
Yeah.
Like he might, Jake Paul might hit him, and he might think, "Hey, you hit me too fucking hard."
That slap at the weigh-in really got them going.
And you heard that slap. That was a real slap. That was like you could hear the slap in his face. That was a real. But he ain't throw no real punches. And I think Mike at 58 can beat an average 40-year-old. An average, But Jake Paul is 30. He's 30 years old, I think. Or I think he's 28 or some shit like that. Or he just might be 30. I don't know his age. But I mean, come on now. I mean, he's 28 years his senior. I mean, what are you gonna do? Like,
yeah,
the fact that he had the breath control to get in there and do that for 8 rounds. I mean, 2-minute rounds, but still, you or I can't box for 8 rounds for 2 minutes. Like, we'd be fucking exhausted.
I think the real losers were the people that paid to be there too. Like, I don't know how much those tickets were. But and I'm happy, not just the Serrano Taylor fight, the undercard fight before that, I don't remember their name. It was 2 gentlemen. That was a good fight. And I heard the one prior to, I think it was 2 women, another set of women fighters that fought too. I didn't see that one, but I heard that was good also. And I think that was strategic, where they had to give us something, because they knew that the Tyson and Paul fight wasn't going to be anything. So those undercard fights made it for a good night of boxing. It just, the main event was like, come on. The funny thing was the fact that so many, I think it was because so many people was watching it, it started buffering. And at first I thought it was just our TV. Then I seen comments when people was like, come on. And then you went to sleep, and it did it again for a long, because the first time it kind of fixed itself. It did it for a while. I even texted my sister, because my sister was doing something. She's like, let me know when the fight starts. So I was like, okay, they had all the hoopla. So as they were coming out, I texted like, okay, they're coming out. About 10 minutes later, she texts me. She like, they not fighting yet, are they? They just now coming out, or so I think they weren't coming out on their TV. I'm like, this it's the second round. Like your TV must have buffered and got stuck or something. So you know, seeing how big Netflix is, but so many people watching it, you know, technology is going technology.
That's something that needs to be talked about too, because Netflix is Netflix. But what do you think about their rollout to do like live events and something like this? You can't fuck up. So I mean, they got to get this right. Where if 65 million people is watching, like the Super Bowl, that don't buffer. You know, none of the shit that we watch on linear TV buffers. So if you're gonna roll out like Beyonce is performing on Christmas. At Houston
in the Texans game,
at the Ravens and Houston's game, and it's two great games that day on Christmas, and it's like the NBA used to be on Christmas Day. Now the NFL is coming in and partnering with Netflix, but you can't have a football game on Netflix and have it buffer. That shit not gonna, because the eyes on that'll be like, nah, we ain't watching football over there. Yeah. And you can't have Beyonce performing at a halftime show in her hometown, and it fucking buffers.
Well, I mean, let's just say that fight may have been not that I saw somebody say Netflix sucks at live events. Now I don't know what previous live events where there were issues,
right?
But maybe this was like a test, and I don't know if people got fired, but maybe this is like putting the battery in their back to ramp up whatever they need to ramp up to do bigger, because they're going to get bigger audiences. Now, again, it's not like you're technically losing anything, because it's not like you bought the fight and now you missed part of it. You know, you missed a couple seconds and it kind of caught itself up. So I think they will need to definitely improve their service, especially if this is going to be the future where things like this, major events like this, are going to be on Netflix.
Think about their biggest shows, like what was the Chinese show?
Squid Games,
and just some other like big shows on Netflix that they made. They never had 65 million people watching at one time.
See, exactly, that's the thing. No matter how many views you're talking about one time.
That's even like the Chris Rock comedy thing, the Joe Rogan thing. Like they live events that they trying to roll into, but that's not 65 million eyes watching. Yeah. And if you're talking about Christmas Day, people are home in the house, want to watch football, and Beyonce is performing, they want to see her. You got men and women in front of the TV. Children. You can't be buffering. You can't be buffering. Like, y'all got to get that shit fixed.
Yeah. Hopefully they do. Again, hopefully this puts the battery in their back, and people let them know, like, get this right. Or you put future contracts in jeopardy.
Do you think that's the new wave, to have, like, no more linear TV and live events on streaming services?
I don't like it necessarily, like the lack of linear TV, because one, there's you kind of lose sight of what's going on like network TV, like new TV shows and stuff that used to be part of, like when the new seasons of TV shows would start in September. You like throughout the end of the summer, you look forward to see like, oh, this new show is coming. I have no clue about new TV shows.
Remember when we had Comcast for cable, like the original Comcast, and we was be in love with the guide? Yeah, and it was like the guide was everything. Like the TV guide was, of course, when we were small, but the guide on the TV used to be everything, because it was like that's how you found what was on the 300 cable channels you had. Yeah. Now it's just the streaming services and particular things you watch, like
and it's
Chopped
guides
or
for
something like that. But it's not like the guide and scroll down and see what's on. It's
and our TV, we have a Samsung TV, so it has like its own kind of streaming of its own, and it has these channels which are really good. Some of them, like you could watch.
Some of them are bad though. They got an Amen channel where only Amen comes.
I was just about to say, it's certain channels that just show one show. Channel, they have a First 48 channel. You can watch First 48 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I was like, Sherman Hemsley. I remember this show.
I think it was that many episodes.
Amen channel where Amen just comes on all the fucking time, back and like over and
over. They
have
and over. This. It's like Ebony magazine. It's an Ebony TV channel. I found out. We've been watching. Are We There Yet? The Terry Crews and Essence Atkins show, and then Kevin Hart and his trainer. Have you seen that yet?
No.
They had a show on there where they kind of like doing not really pranks, but they like doing funny stuff in different neighborhoods and stuff. And then there is like a workout segment. It's like a funny show, but really getting people into fitness. It's a good show. I can't think of the name, but looking at it, I think it's a few years old. But I'm like, who the hell ever knew that this was a thing? I mean, I never heard of it. I can't think of the name, but even when I seen the name and looking at them, it's like, when did y'all do this?
I know.
Like, but so that's one of the things I don't necessarily. I mean, streaming, of course, is going to give you entertainment, and streaming has kind of ruined watching network TV when you have shows that you can binge. Yeah. And like we just finished watching Cross, and and then when we watch great shows like Lioness, we're watching now, it's like, come on with the one episode a week.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how we grew up. Yeah, that's how we grew up. But it's you get spoiled.
Yeah, it transferred. That binge thing started with
Netflix started that.
But what was the show? Orange is the New Black.
Oh, you're being able
everybody
to
started to just binge watch everything.
Yeah.
Orange is the New Black. And it was like, holy shit. They see
like you
could
finish
about this show?
Yeah, you could finish and if you never watched the show, we binged Snowfall. Mm-hmm. You remember we had never seen it and we watched like the first 5 seasons back to back to back. And then it was like, but that made it so good. It did. I mean, it's the new way of the world. I think that I think big events now. Now, I wonder how do they determine what's going to be on Prime, because that's a big network. Yeah. What's going to be on Hulu? What they're going to give to Netflix? So that's interesting to see.
Paramount, Apple TV, like all those, because Max, you can't forget about HBO. You can't forget about Apple TV. That's big too. And Apple TV is like a Max. Like I hear their shows always hit. That's where we watch Presumed Innocence at.
Yeah, that
was a great fucking show.
Yeah, that was good.
Anything Jake Gyllenhaal in is great.
Mm-hmm.
A couple people been doing some press runs and promoting some shit, and we'll talk about a few of them. But Jaleel White is one of them. Urkel been doing some press runs, and he was on the Breakfast Club. He was on a few other interview circuits, and really talking shit about the cast of Family Matters. And I know Family Matters was big in your life, like TGI Fridays was huge in your life. It was in mine too. I was a little older, but I still watched.
In the house Friday
like
nights.
He was in the house watching that stuff. But he was on a lot of these platforms talking shit about the cast and how he was the head of, how he changed the show and this and this and that. And recently Netflix came to him with a let's do a reboot of the show, and he was like, nah, like if anything is a show is how a young kid came to a show and saved it, and that's the arc he wanted to go. So fuck making a reboot and having it be about all my co-hosts. It's about me, how I came into the show and changed it, and my trajectory went up and all this shit.
The crazy part though is his trajectory it went up on the show, and then it died out. Yeah, like we never seen him in anything since then.
No, and he claimed he kept working. And I know he did a few episodes here, a few episodes there, but he's promoting this book where he talked about his failed relationship with Will Smith because of some shit that he told Will he would do and then he didn't do and went and do something else, and Will next stopped calling him over his house, stopped speaking to him.
Okay.
And he talked some shit about Judy. Do you remember Judy? Because you watched the show.
That was the little sister, yeah.
And apparently in one of the episodes, she went upstairs to get something and never came back down the whole show, all the years.
She disappeared from the show.
Right,
yeah.
And a lot of people were saying, what happened to her? Well, he spoke to that saying she couldn't land jokes. People used to write stuff, and she fumbled in the
the writing room?
In the table reads, and so, they wrote her off the show. And he blamed a lot of it on her mom, saying that she thought her daughter was better than she was.
I mean, that's sad because she was a little girl.
Yeah, you just think like Urkel wouldn't be out here trashing people as if he's been on the top of the mountain the last 28 years that this show has been off the air.
When you look at his IMDb, which you can kind of look to see what shows people have done. Since Family Matters, Okay, he has something called. I mean, these things are like very small.
And he even said the shows that he's done, he's only done 2 episodes here, 1 episode here, 2 episodes here. It's not like he's been there for the whole season and carrying a show.
He's never had anything that has been long lasting. Like looking at these things, that's exactly what it is.
And that you see the consistency of it. It's been throughout the year, so he's not lying and saying he's been working. It's just
he's been showing up for it. It's like, it's almost like he's just been doing cameos. I don't know if in those different shows he's been showing up as the role, because he was typecast as, you know, Steve Urkel, or if he showed up as other roles. So maybe he has been working, but it's nothing that's remarkable, or memorable. The sad part about it is, though, none of them. I mean, except for Darius. Carl. But Darius was he stayed relevant, but in a negative way. Like, you could see him in, like, Tubi level movies. Mm-hmm. You know, Laura, we never seen her in
Reginald
anything
Bell Johnson
else.
Was in Die Hard and
because, I mean, he was he was one of them people that was like one of those classically trained actors that came from that world. But even the mom, you never really saw her in anything else. I mean, and if so, maybe it might have been a small part here or there, but nothing that stands out.
And the truth is that you go back and look at the documentation, the show was going to be canceled until he was supposed to come in and do 1 episode and ended up doing 7 years. Mm-hmm. So he did carry the show. It's just you don't think that you got to be as arrogant as you are and shitting on all your co-hosts who you supposed to have built this bond and relationship with. And he kind of blamed it on the parents. He was like, listen, we were kids. Like, the kids were kids and the parents were parents. If there was any strife, there was strife between our moms and dads, not us, because we was kids.
Right. The sad part about it is, with him coming out and speaking negatively like this about his cast members, how far does he think this is going to get him with future projects? I mean,
that's kind of the book. That's what he's trying to do.
It might sell the book, but I mean, how many?
Being maybe a number 1 bestseller get you a lot of money out here.
Yeah, but maybe. But time. How many? But then it's like you're telling the story so often. You're going on this press run, and if people keep hearing the same rhetoric. And it might be wrong, but people are going to assume, oh, we know what he's talking about. Right. He may be talking about something. He's going to have to change the narrative of these interviews that he's doing, because he's going to give people the impression like, oh, he's just talking negative about everybody. And it's going to make them not want to be interested in his book, where he could have other material in there that may be, worthy of reading, but if he just keeps repeating the same thing, it's going to be like, unless you're just, I want to see how bad he talked about him. That ain't really enough to be like, let me read this book to figure out what happened.
I mean, the kids you grew up on, you just hate to see shit like that.
Yeah,
like, you grow up and you talking shit. Like, you Urkel, bro, you Stefan. And it's like, you acting like that with your co-host and then going on this press run to sell this book. Like she's saying, like, the book is your end all be all. Like, jump in some more movies, jump in some more shit. Like, do some TV shit.
But it's like the rule of thumb in any job. You don't talk bad about your last job when you're trying to get a new job. Like, you go to an interview, they ask, why did you leave the last job? You don't talk bad about them. Now, once you get the job, you kind of say what you got to say if you want to. But so talking all this, like, Tyler Perry ain't about to call you, hearing like how bad you're talking about other people. Will
Smith got influences in the industry. He could put your name out there to be like, don't call him.
Yeah, but now that you're giving people this perception of you, it probably ain't gonna work well in your favor. But it's where you think about other like cast members from previous shows and who worked together for years. It makes me wonder what their relationship is like. Like, we would see Thelma and Michael after you told me Michael was dead all them years and he wasn't. But we would see them.
Shouts out to Michael.
And they seemed like, they had, a cordial relationship. I wonder, like, Kelly Bundy and Bud Bundy, like, were they, like, cool as they got older?
Michael Gastanio, I think I seen them together a few times. Yeah, okay. I do remember seeing them together a few times.
Christina Applegate.
She's like really sick right now too. Like, has breast cancer or something like that. I think she's still fighting it. Like, I thought
she had got a mastectomy or something.
Yeah, but I think it came back in her body or something. Okay. And she's still fighting it.
But it just made, now, did you know Full House, right? You remember Now, you remember the older sister there, Candace Cameron?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that she is the sister of Kirk Cameron?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they grew up in like a very religious family. He like has a wife with like a whole lot of kids, like one of those kind
like
of
10,
things.
11 kids, like real staunch Christian people.
But that was interesting to have, two siblings grow up and be on Growing Pains was the name of his show, and she was on Full House.
He was pretty cool, man. He was like the it guy, Kirk Cameron.
But you know what? It's weird. There's another situation where you have like older siblings and then a younger sibling, because the little sister from that show, she kind of Judy. She was that her name? She kind of faded off.
It's weird how back then,
Judy, but whoever her name.
Like America used to like that high school white male kind of like football team head, like that. He goes out with the cheerleader, like that kind of guy, like that. The Saved by the Bell shit, like.
Well, you know why?
Zacks, like all.
We didn't
people.
have. I remember my cousin Regina, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. Like when we got the Word Up magazines with like the rappers, and we put the when we put the posters and stuff on our wall of like the like Bobby Brown and all that. She had all of the actors from the white magazines. Okay. But when you think about it, we didn't have like young black men on shows like that. Like Steve Urkel, but he showed up. Then we had Will Smith.
He was cool with Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Oh wow!
Steve Urkel, yup. He was like out of all because he was asked like, was Black Hollywood kind of like a family thing, and he was like, no. Like it still wasn't. Even in the 80s, it wasn't like you could call a black person to get you a job.
Right, right.
He was like, but you roamed around and was cool with other people. And he was like, I was cool with Will Smith until a certain point, and then I was cool with Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yeah,
and to think like Urkel and Theo was fucking.
But
cool.
You think again, Theo? We had Theo on the Cosby Show, but he didn't give off that teenage lover boy appeal. It didn't
seem like he was in the off time. He was killing wherever he was living, like New York. He was in the clubs or whatever. He wasn't doing that.
He didn't get that same vibe. Like so and then when Will Smith came, him too. That it was almost like they purposely wanted to make him a little bit goofy, so like they wouldn't have that teenage like, oh my god, like nobody. I don't recall anybody ever crushing on Theo or crushing on Will Smith.
No.
So I mean, but yeah, and then the other, the Corey Haims, the Corey Feldman, the Fred Savages, like those were like because that's who you saw.
Another person that's given that's doing their press runs is Shine, and the fact that Puffy is locked up now, but Shine has a doc that came out on Monday that people say is very, very, very good and detailed. But he is like an open book now to what happened that night, who shot who. I didn't shoot nobody. Puffy was the shooter. And we all was protecting ourselves because somebody was shooting at us. But he separated the trial, got his own lawyers, got me lawyers. But in his trial, he called witnesses against me. That was his defense. To clear him, he had to implicate somebody else. So in his trial, he implicated Shine, which cleared him. But in Shine's trial, they used that against him and got 10 fucking years. And he did 8.5.
Did Puffy ever like give him any money?
No, well, he came out. He said he came out, and eventually he hated him because when he came out, he rapped again, and he came out saying, fuck Puff, fuck Fat Joe, fuck Rick Ross, fuck Drake. He dissed a lot of people when he first came out, and then his people from Belize told him, you ain't changed. Like this is not the energy you're supposed to be giving out. Like you just did 8 fucking years for this kind of energy. And that changed him, and he stopped rapping, went back to his people, got with his people, and got into the politics of Belize. And he later, I think in 2019, reconnected with Diddy, and I think he gave him $50,000. But he said, I did that out of ego because I was so angry. I felt like he owed me something. Like I did 8 years, he ruined my life. I got to do all this climbing out this hole. I felt like he owed me something. But what Diddy did was made him perform. So I give some shit to Belize, but you got to do this concert with me and rap. And he was like, I did it, but all the stuff was given to Belize, computers, laptops, and all this money and shit like that. But he never physically gave me a check. He was like, he gave me $50,000 in cash. And I thought it was kind of an insult. Like, I got a little more coming. Like 8 years, nigga. I did 8 years for you. Give me
that's
50
a
racks.
sneeze to
Yeah,
him.
like
Yeah, that's a sneeze.
And everybody in the world is saying you a billionaire. Like that's worth a couple million at least.
You probably give your daughters $50,000 for their mall trip.
Yeah,
on a weekend.
he's like you gotta be.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was out with him at times when he was, he was with J-Lo and Cassie, where I seen them spend $500,000 on them shopping. Like what the fuck? Like 50 racks? That's nothing. But what do you think compared to? I mean, in comparison to Puff going to jail and then him saying, okay, now is the time to come out and speak freely. Do you think it was like, because I see it as, I think he was kind of, he's scared without being scared, because it's like he said the influence and power that this guy has, you can't come out and say all these incriminating things about him because of who he knows and who he runs with and the stuff that he can do and the stuff that he can make happen. But the fact that he's getting, what he has in store for him and what God has for him, now I can tell my story.
I mean, I guess for me, it depends on what's your intent in doing this.
I'm sorry, he ain't selling the book, he's selling the doc.
Right. So yeah, what's your intent in doing this? I mean, you can't tell anybody not to tell their truth. It's a shame that he had this much influence that people are genuinely afraid. I hope that in addition to just that he heals, because that's a lot of trauma to carry. That's a lot of anger. I don't want to say hate, because that's a strong word, and I don't know if that's how he feel, but that's a lot of anger to be harboring. So I hope that he heals from it. I mean, I get it. If he has as much power as people say, you had to protect yourself. But at the same time, it's your story to tell. And he didn't, give you any kind of retribution for the sacrifice that you made. So get it how you got to get it. And if that's selling the doc, then that's really how he's paying you back. Because if he had, and I'm not saying money fixes everything, but if he had shown that level of respect, then he may look at it differently and may not have even wanted to release the doc. But you didn't, so you left me my hand to play.
Yeah. I mean, I like Sean. I think it's a story.
I want to go to Belize.
I definitely want to go to Belize, and I definitely think it's a story or doc that I'm gonna watch, because again, I just used to hear about the, Puff was with J-Lo, some shooting went down in the New York in a club, and Sean shot somebody. And the girl to this day who got shot in the face, she recently just said it was Puff who shot me. And so that's just, a couple people doing press runs trying to sell some shit. On a side note.
Wait, Paul, can I say something real fast though? I want J-Lo to tell something.
They asked Sean, have you spoke to J-Lo since that night? And he was like, no, I haven't even seen her since that night.
I want her to spill some beans because she knows some stuff. Yeah,
she was there that night and probably saw who was shooting. But again, Sean was like, people were shooting at us, so we were defending
I don't mean just about that. I mean about other things that she knows and witnessed.
On a sidebar, earlier last week, a report came out that Puff is in jail in Brooklyn, running the jail. People are fighting to make his bed, give him food, give him shit to write with, give him their phone cards. And through that, the judge ordered a raid or some shit on his block. They raided his cell and found a notebook of handwritten notes and privilege notes from his lawyer to him contacting witnesses. And, you can't do that. That's fucking intimidation of witnesses. And so now they're about to charge him with intimidation of witnesses, like a charge while he's sitting in jail.
And that's federal.
Yeah. Like, I just don't understand what the fuck people are getting themselves into.
This is that ego in thinking I can do what I want, which is why I said this man is not going. I said this from the beginning. He's not pleading to anything, because in his mind, he can do no wrong. He can get away with whatever he wants. The law doesn't apply to him. He's going to continue to push the limit until he can't. I don't think he's ever going to plead guilty, because his ego is far too gone. He thinks he's above it all.
The caveat to this is that the jail guards and the warden in them read privilege letters from him to his lawyer. which you know that's wrong. It's almost like a conversation you overheard with your lawyer is privileged to you and him. Well, in that situation, the communication between him and his lawyer is privileged, where the witness tampering was done. So they read that stuff knowing that they shouldn't. Is that an automatic, we're throwing this out and it's not even a thing because y'all broke the law first?
But I don't know. I don't know how the law will apply that, because it's like, okay, how else will we know that he did this? And like, what's the bigger egg to fry? The fact that, okay, y'all read these notes and y'all shouldn't, or the fact that there was witness tampering? Because now if we throw this out and he's released, these people could be in danger.
So you wouldn't care that you obtained evidence illegally? That's okay now?
Sometimes the end justifies the means.
You said that so like nonchalantly.
You know?
How far will you go to stop the bullshit? You was telling me a story earlier. What was the story about?
So there's this lady, I think her name is Ashley. I did not, she's been pretty popular on social media. I didn't know anything about her. One of these old credit repair people, she posted something, she made like, $1 million in 60 minutes. Just one of these people, I got money, I can help you fix your credit. She had this engagement party on a yacht. She hired the singer, or I don't know if she hired
seminars and shit.
Yeah, one of them people. Monica sang at the engagement party. She showed this fabulous house she had in North Carolina. So she's doing all this. This girl, who not related to this girl, exposed her. Now it's so funny because the girl was also known because she has like a food truck or some kind of food establishment that Keith Lee had visited and like gave her props and some money, which Keith Lee is not related to this story at all, but it just so happened like, damn, this girl, again, in this situation, this girl exposed her that she wasn't helping anybody like through the seminar. I think the girl had like burnt her out of some money. Other people came to it, was like, yeah, she burnt me too. So this girl like really blew the situation up. So the seminar lady first tried to issue like a cease and desist because the girl was spreading negative stuff about her. That didn't work. Then she tried to sue her. That didn't work. She then hired 3 people to unalive her. The FBI ended up calling the girl, telling her to be careful because they were made aware of this hit that had been put out on her. One of the hired assassins had even filmed themselves with like some police activity going on around and like sent her the video like, well, like they didn't do it, but they made an attempt. So asked for $10,000 just because I think she had offered them like 50, whatever the situation. She got sentenced to 10 years. You went from being a scammer, having this house, having this money, this elaborate engagement, Monica singing, and this whole lifestyle to you just couldn't, you were a scammer and you couldn't take it.
That somebody was stopping
that somebody was stopping it. Somebody was spreading, they posted a video that she said she had actually put a video on Facebook saying, yeah, this girl done released my address to over hundreds of thousands of people, and had kind of alluded to the fact that she was like looking for somebody to kill her, but said she was joking. But she wasn't joking. She really had hired people. They sentenced her ass to 10 years, and they said that was the maximum amount that they could give her, for that crime, which is crazy to me. How she only get 10 years? She hired 3 people to try to take me out.
State law, state to state. Some states you probably get life. Some states you get you get 10 years.
So let's say somebody came out and said, yo,
I only would crash out like, I'm going to stop you. I only would crash out like, I don't really give a shit that much. I only would crash out for 2 things that somebody was calling me. The R word and the P word. That's the only thing that I'm going to go out my way to try to stop. Okay. Other than that, I don't give a fuck what you say. Like, I don't. But if you say that about me, I have an issue. And I'm going to show up constantly defending myself because ain't nobody else is. So I'm going to have to defend myself on those two items.
You just got to think like you, again, a person, you're like so entitled where like, to me, that's like a grown-up tantrum to the biggest degree. Like, you're having a tantrum so bad, like, oh my God, she's talking about me. Like, okay, she's shutting your business down. And I'm not condoning scamming by any means necessary. But if you really a scammer, find a different, a different scam. Because this one, she busted. Okay, find something else to do. But to try to take this lady's life because she's spreading the truth about you on social media, that I just thought like, wow. And people were in the comments like, it's crazy to think that we seen this unfold in real life. And again, never knew anything about it, never heard any of these people, but it was like people were seeing how they saw this all transpire. Her, like, somebody was like, oh, I remember her engagement, it was so beautiful. And now to see, I don't know I think they must have extradited her, or because they were showing her in handcuffs being walked off of a plane. So either they extradited her or she tried to escape. I don't know the details. But yeah, 10 years. You talking about a crash out? Yeah. 10 years.
How far would you go? Would you, if somebody said that you was given some false information about you, like, I don't know, I don't want to be too egregious, but somebody was just saying some false information about you, how far would you sue? Would you report somebody like on a platform that's saying wrong information about you? Would you, like, what would be your first step to report? Would it be that didn't stop, I'm a sue?
I think, I kind of had this experience before in my life. I think at this age, I think I was standing knowing my truth.
You would litigate.
I was standing and knowing my truth. I think if it was like some defamation of character, I possibly would go that route just to teach you a lesson. Like, now, in this case, the lady was wrong, so she was telling the truth about you. But if you're telling lies about me and like really trying to assassinate my character to the point where like it could put my life in jeopardy or my livelihood in jeopardy or my family in jeopardy, then yeah, I might go the litigation route for defamation of character. It ain't even about money, but like for defamation of character, let you know you can't just be out here saying anything about people, like making up lies. I'm not hiring nobody to kill nobody, but we definitely going to take this a step further if you want to like be putting, like, what if somebody made up something, like now with this deep fake stuff or whatever, or like sent you some fake recordings of me, like, and you thinking I'm cheating. Like, people can be crazy out here. People, the other day, my niece, Deja, somebody created a fake Instagram profile, her picture, it looked just like her Instagram name, but they added a period at the end and was asking people for $50. I said and I didn't get the request. I just seen when she was like, this is not me. If y'all see this page, report it. And it's like, anybody who knows Deja know, the last thing she barely posts anything on social media. The last thing she's doing is asking anybody for money. She got her mother, she got brothers, she got an aunt. Like, the last thing she's doing. But people are crazy and will go, you need an email address to create Instagram. You got to steal my pictures. You got to create a name. You got to request my friends want $50.
Somebody can do that shit in 10 minutes. It's just what you just named was presses of a button, copy and paste.
Yeah, but to have to sit there and put forth that effort, what's wrong? Why? What are you doing?
But it's some people, that's what I'm saying. There's some people that do it so much and so fast, they can do it in 10 minutes. It's no effort to them. It's like they can do that shit eating a bowl of cereal. Like, I just made a whole new page of somebody. Like, sick. Before I finish my Fruit Loops.
Put that kind of effort into filling out an application.
Yeah, like it ain't shit.
Fill out the application while you eating your Fruit Loops.
It might take us a day to do some shit like that and have it look real, but to somebody just sitting there eating fucking cereal, doing that shit 10 times a day, it ain't nothing. 3 grams. Who white can come to the cookout date? And we're gonna do a race trade too. But go ahead.
A race trade?
Go ahead.
Okay, white that can come to the cookout. I would definitely say Parks from Joe Button.
Mm-hmm.
He coming to the cookout.
Parks can come to the cookout.
Gary Owen can come to the cookout. Although I like him.
Maybe some women.
Andrew Schultz can't come.
You don't want Schultz to come?
Nah.
Why?
Cause he might start a fight.
I want Schultze to come. I do. I want Schultze.
Just be prepared. Be prepared for a fight to break out. Chelsea Handler, she can come because she checking for all the uncles.
Joe can come.
Joe Rogan?
Rogan.
Nah.
Rogan can't come?
No, he can't come to the
Why?
First of all, he wants deer meat. We're not serving deer meat. He doesn't want, any no. Joe is not
You're not black friendly?
I'm not gonna say he's not black friendly. I'm gonna say
Let's say one of his kids is black.
By marriage.
But I'm just saying.
I'm not saying he's not black friendly. I'm saying I don't think he would be comfortable.
Oh.
That's I don't think he would.
That's that. Give me some women. Chelsea Handler.
Chelsea Handler. You know who I think would be and this is just by her her social media rhetoric. Cecily Tynan. Y'all probably don't know her if y'all don't live in Philly. But Cecily Tynan be checking people when they come
want
for
her
her.
fucking legs at the cookout.
We gonna make sure she got a comfortable chair. But she be checking people when they come for her on Facebook. I like it. Cecily don't be taking it. She be checking people, putting them right in their place. Like, you're not gonna talk crazy to her.
Yeah.
I like that.
I did roll past her page before and see her talking shit to people.
Yeah, they think they can say anything. She come right back when she feel like it, when she want to. I don't know many more. Who you got?
That's just about the same people. Gary Owens, Schultz, Parks. Who else white that can come to the cookout? I'm trying to think of females.
You don't know none.
White right off the bat. And watch when we get done this, I'm gonna be naming white.
Yeah, you don't know none. That's all right.
Yeah, I don't know none that I think is cool. Like that would be at the cookout. Like you said, I'm trying to say nobody who uncomfortable. Yeah, that would be it.
Yeah.
Let's do a race trade. Let's play this game. So, who you giving up black for somebody white?
I would give up Jaleel White.
For who?
For Michael Rappaport.
He can come to the cookout too.
Yeah, Michael Rappaport.
Rappaport
But no, because he another one might start a fight.
No, Remy can come to the cookout.
All right, who you giving up, black?
I'm giving up Corey Holcomb.
Okay, for who?
Bert Kreischer.
Oh wow, he is white boy. Wow. Okay.
You giving up Kodak Black for who?
I'm not giving up Kodak.
Kodak Black.
I'm not giving up Kodak Black. We're going to sit Kodak Black. He the cousin. We're going to sit in the corner. We're going to make sure he all right. We're going to make sure he don't leave. We're going to make sure he don't sneak off to the bathroom. And where you going? What you got? Yeah, we checking on you. We going to make sure you're all right.
All right, come on. Who else we got?
I'm going to give up Floyd Mayweather.
You going to give up Floyd? For who? You gotta give up him. That's a great black. You gotta give up a great white. You giving up Floyd? Let me see for who.
I'm giving up Floyd
who you
for
want?
I think I want Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm giving up
because he got a Dominican wife, so I think
I'm giving up Michelle who?
Michelle. Oh, for who?
Miley Cyrus.
Okay. I can see that. All right, one more. I'm giving up Brian McKnight. For Justin Timberlake.
He can come to the cookout too.
Yeah.
Justin can come to the cookout.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. We'll play again sometime.
Yeah.
I gotta think of some great whites to trade for some great blacks.
Why?
It's a game. It's a game. The biggest hate about you.
That I hate about myself. Hate is a strong word.
But play along.
Yes,
I knew you was gonna say that. I changed it from irk to hate, but just go along.
Okay.
I know you're like, I don't hate anything about myself.
No, I will say, well, it just has to be one thing.
And we ended.
I would say my lack of discipline. I pray to God about that. And it's scary though, because you got to be careful what you pray for. So I feel like sometimes you pray for things and God give it to you in a way you be like, damn, I ain't want to learn it this way, through a hard way. But yeah, like I want to become more disciplined. Yeah. What about you?
There is a thing that's an ability to make friends, right?
Yeah, being cordial, I think.
I think I
sociable.
Yeah, so that would be mine.
That you don't have that.
Right. Then I'm not saying like I'm yearning for but just to know how to navigate new people would be something that I would be like, yeah, I don't know how to do this. But it's almost like the chicken and the egg thing. It's like, I'm not open to you unless I know you. Then people will say, well, how you going to be? You don't know you if you're not open to me. And it's like, yeah, you're right. But I guess I just feel like if I don't know you now, I ain't going to be open to you.
But do you think that's nature or nurture? Like, I don't think you were born that way. I think your previous circumstances that developed in you. And now that's a hard habit. Like, you had to be that way for 23 years. And then that's a hard, like, you couldn't it wasn't that you didn't want to be close. You couldn't let people in. And now trying to break out of that is it's hard. So I don't think you've always been that way, right?
No, I haven't.
Right. So
but it happened for a big portion of my life. So it's not like a habit. It's like a part of me.
Do you want me to teach you?
I mean, no, I don't want nobody to teach me, but it's like, I know that that's a thing. Some people say, no, it ain't a thing, but it's like, no, it's a thing, knowing how to make friends. And it's not like you go out and you need 50 friends, but the ability, even if you made one friend, the ability to know how to navigate a friendship is something I don't have.
And I think too, you're at this stage of your life, it's not like you're a single man that's hanging out at the pool hall or something. It's like where are you in environments that would allow that? You know what I mean? So that is kind of a hindrance too. It's like, I think
it's like I can't, I'm sorry to cut you off, I can't let down the distant, like, it's like you're a man, I'm a man, like I'm gonna be like, why are you trying to be so close to me like that? You know what I mean? And I know that's a barrier you have to like get past, but it's like, I'm always skeptical and anxious about that kind of shit and small talk and shit like that.
I think that's your biggest thing. And it's because like, you have to allow. People see that
in me and be like, oh, this motherfucker don't really want to be bothered. And it'd be like, kind of, but not really. Like, I do want to be bothered, but not really, but kind of, but yeah, you know.
I think you have to allow when you feel like it for the small talk, because then that's when you'll kind of get a vibe of people. Like, if you don't have a small talk, it can't lead to and this kind of sound like dating, but
can't lead to the big talk.
Yeah, like if you don't have a small talk or like see like the general stuff, because it's like me as a female, right? If I'm in an environment and you know a woman and you know it's a bunch of women and they talking and they like, girl, did you watch Love and Hip Hop last night? That's small talk, but that immediately lets me know, this ain't my type of chick. But if they, you know, mention something that is intriguing to me, then, I mean, no, to somebody else, that Love and Hip Hop conversation may be like, oh, we can talk and we can be friends. But you gotta, like, kind of allow the small talk to know, oh, is
your
there
audience.
some similarities? So not saying that there will be everything that y'all will like about, you know, the conversation, but if you don't let the small talk, if you don't engage in the small talk, then you won't, that's how you get a chance to kind of know what people are about.
That's the word, engaging. Like, that's what creeps me out. Engaging.
Oh, my unsocial butterfly.
Act 2, the podcast coming to a close, episode 202. Catch us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podchaser, Google Podcast Player, FM. We hope y'all enjoyed this podcast. We enjoyed bringing it to you, sitting here talking shit. We hope y'all enjoyed the content. We see y'all next week. If you fuck with us, you fuck with us. You don't, you should. Peace. The sticky stuff going.